Hi, good morning, guys. And AJ, good morning from New Zealand, or from South Africa to New Zealand. Nice to have you on stream here. I'm glad you can make it today to a live stream. So, I've just spawned into the Zibo. This is RC1.17, and I see that all my views are messed up, kinda. Let's have a look. Oh, yes. Alright, we're going to have to set this up again properly before we can get going. But before we do that, let me show you on the outside. So this is Wellington. They say, according to that sign over there, the middle of Middle Earth, playing on the Lord of the Rings movie and book story there. And this is part of the New Zealand Stories scenery. And you have to have a runway follow contours on for this to actually work, and it works very well. Very nice scenery for Wellington. We're going to take off runway 34, and then we're going to head down to the South Island. Good morning, Sentinel. Thanks for joining us. And I think if I recall correctly, it's about an hour and a half plus minus flight. Could be a little less, could be a little more, no worries. And one of the reasons for flying this flight is specifically to look at the approach for runway 23 at Queenstown, because of the curves that is now present in the Zibo, and because of the zigzag that we have to fly through the mountains there. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy it with me. As always, feel free to leave your comments, talk to me. I've got my ban hammer. Yes, if you don't behave, I'm just going to ban you, kick you off the channel. We are not interested in any fights and stuff, so I'm speaking because of things that has happened in the last week or so. There's been a couple of trolls creating a problem for other team members. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Let's enjoy it together. Thank you so much, AJ. Thank you very much for the donation. Much appreciated. Good morning, Paul. So this is kind of bad. This is not ideal. Let's get all these views fixed to a point where we can actually use them. Wow. Okay, give me a moment. I need to figure out what the best course of action would be, because we need to change the field of view, I think. I don't really want to go lower. That looks better. Okay, I'll tweak it as we fly and as we move around, but that seems like a plan. Sentinel, for the AutoCAD plugin to work, you need two things. You need the AutoCAD plugin in your resources plugin folder, and then you need the scenery designer to have incorporated it in his scenery. So if you have scenery that does not support the plugin, it won't work. And if you have scenery that supports the plugin, it will work. Right, that seems to have sorted the problem. I'll have to tweak it if I'm not happy as I fly and things like that, but for now, let's just get going. So as always, I'm going to load up first, make sure that we get the correct weights and balances in place. I'm not sure if Norman is going to be on the stream later. Norman made a little summary for us during the week of all the work that me and Twixter have been doing and some of the work that he's been doing to get the OFP to actually sync up with the tablet. Let me show you quickly. So that's my OFP from PFPX, and if you look at the values, we've got 17.8 on our payload, we've got 59.20 fuel weight and 5.7 on the fuel, which gives us a takeoff weight of 64.9. So Norman, if you are there, please talk to me. Come to Discord at some point in time, now or after the stream or sometime, then we can just discuss it, because there's discrepancies that I've picked up that I need to bring under your attention. Right, so one of the things that is vitally important for the Zibo is that the takeoff weight needs to be exactly the same on the tablet as well as on the FMC. We will double check that later. If those two things do not correspond to each other, then the FMC is going to have a hard time working things out for us. Okay, Sentinel, cool. That's a good plan. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get loading. Good morning, Yoki. Welcome.
November Zulu Whiskey. November airport information. Romeo 0730 Zulu weather. Wind 337 at 4. Visibility 10,000. Sky clear. Temperature 17. Dew point 14. QNH 1026. Advise on initial contact. You have information. Romeo. November.
Paul, not yet. I know that the message was sent through because I did it, but there's obviously a project plan that the guys are sticking to. You know, they're not going to stop just for that and go backtrack and fix that thing. I think in time it will be done, so I'm happy with that. They know about it, we know about it, and you know, we'll just hang tight until it gets fixed. One thing I have not opened yet is my charts. Let me get my Navigraph quickly. Good morning, Kevin. Welcome. Right, so we're going to do RNAV Y on 23. Let's put the chart up quickly. Okay, it's just downloading. Right, so as a matter of interest, we're going to enter here at Actal, which we have selected over here. We are then going to do the zigzag all the way through the canyon, whatever you want to call that valley there, until we get to LRAV, and from there on configure the land, and that's our airport over there. So as you guys can see, there's a nice curve. This is a fantastic airport to come and play with, to come and exercise with. It's lovely to fly, and then to land by hand at the end. Yeah, there's a minute left. I'm just going to quickly wait it out so we can make sure we program the system properly and check those legs. Good morning, Tim. Hey, Russell.
Guys, the Leo's on board.
Ah, fantastic. Thank you for the information, Russell.
ladies and gentlemen, from the flight desk, welcome aboard our flight today. We're wrapping up the final paperwork here, should get you on your way momentarily. I want to thank you so much for your company and business. We invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Again, welcome aboard.
Alright, so let's look at these legs. I don't have a magenta line. Hello everyone. Have any of you guys actually flown 1.17? Because this is now the first time I'm in it, and I don't have any magenta lines. That's very interesting. That is so strange. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm quickly going to just complete the setup. Let's see if anything changes. If it doesn't, we'll go back to 1.15 and then wait for the update. But let's have a look. Let's see if we continue what happens. Right, so we said that this must match. So we're going to just double check, make sure. 64.9. Alright, yeah, we'll have to check those throttles as well. I saw a couple of complaints about that. Paul, yes, 100%. The issue is not so much the contours. The issue is actually the runway elevation. Alright. The Zibo uses the default native X-plane database for airports and runways. That gives a certain value that is then taken into consideration when the flare is worked out for the auto land. Two things can change that: runway follow contours and add-on developers when they fiddle with the runway elevation. Alright, and those two things is what influences the auto land, because that is not stock standard. So yes, contours, but also yes, it depends on the developers that actually fiddle with the system. If you go to any airport that's stock standard, you should have a perfect auto landing. Well, let's also quickly do this while we are here. Let's just see if all of the controls work. This far it works. We get our warning. I'd like to see if we can fly this. Let's see if it makes a difference actually whether they are displayed or not. It shouldn't make a difference, but we'll see just now. Right, so let me get my OFB out here quickly. So we've got 2.9. Reserves 1.1, cost index 20. We're going to do flight level 340, and according to the OFB we've got 209 at 7 and 0 on the ISA. Alright. Topcat tells us that we can do takeoff 1 and that should be enough, so I'm going to just use 32, so we have good thrust, and we're going to keep all that the same. We're going to go flaps 5. Guys, this is not a training session as such, so I'm not going to worry about the rest of the pages. They're optional for now. Right. Where's my charts? Let's quickly see that runway heading. 341. Right, and we're going to climb 340. Alright, the last time I flew this during the week, we did not have issues with the turning point at the top there, so we're just going to keep it at that. Right, let's get the rest of the stuff going.
Captain has turned the fasten seatbelt sign. We do ask that all passengers take your seat at this time and please fasten your seatbelt. Just as a reminder, we cannot leave the gate until carrying items are properly put away. All overhead bins are closed and all passengers are seated.
Sentinel, the quickest way to do it is to just grab the waypoint after the problem one, click it, put it in the scratch pad, and then click on the problem one. It will overwrite the problem one.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go. Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Hello, Jan. I actually made a mistake there. I noticed it too late. Terminate.
Ground to
Request.
cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
I forgot to left click with the mouse to actually place the second aircraft. I was so happy I got it in place, I just pressed enter. There we go.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
John, what you do is, let's say you have A, B, C, D, E, F, and you want to get rid of A, B, C. So what you do is, in the legs page, you click on the D, E, F, you put it in
Okay,
the scratch
all
pad at
doors
the
and
bottom,
hatches are closed.
and then you click on the
Ready
line
to connect.
select key next to A, B, C. It will then effectively overwrite A, B, C, deleting it.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Okay, before we can do that, there's a couple of things we just need to do quickly.
Flight attendants prepare for departure, cross-check and all call, thank you.
All right, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Forward boarding door has been closed. Once again, we're getting all passengers to remain seated at this time. Please double check the security of your seatbelt. All electronic devices will need to be turned off and put away at this time. This doesn't get all cellular phone situations. Flight attendants, please prepare doors for departure and contact.
Twixter, I don't know if you're on watching. I see you mentioned that the engines start very fast when you modify files. I did not modify any files, but this into rises like a jet. Just as a matter of interest. I'll talk to you later about that anyway. Yeah, it looks similar to what I've read as well. I obviously see a lot of, the complaints and requests come through. Maybe I shouldn't have updated to 1.17, for this stream, but it's okay. We'll just take it as it comes. My biggest concern right now is if this aircraft is actually going to fly the flight plan, because if it doesn't, it means I'm just going to quickly restart, put 1.15 back. I made a backup of it, and then we'll obviously just do the stream with that one, because that one flew this route beautifully.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Guys, I think it's a good time to just remind you guys, remember this is a work in progress, so please don't be too critical and be harsh. It's not nice, it doesn't feel good. So I'm mentioning this also just because of past experience. We obviously have to wait for the actual developers to, you know, run through some of the numbers and get things right. So that's why I'm just asking nicely, you know, just bear that in mind before you criticize too harshly. Ruan, no, I did not. Good morning, Liam. I went straight to 1.17 because 1.17 is inclusive of 1.16. All of the updates that Zibo is releasing currently for the version 3.4 is inclusive fixes, so you don't need to run the small fixes one by one. You can skip them. Right, there is our pin. Let's get going. Well, this is exactly what I said, John. It's a work in progress. My views are messed up. If you guys are familiar with my streams, my Zibo doesn't look like this. I had to quickly just fiddle with the views just to get going. But anyway, Sentinel, you get your QNH from your weather program. So whatever your weather program is, you need to look at it. As far as I know, you can also get it from the map if you actually go into your airport details. There you go, QNH 1026, which is what we've got here. I've got active skies, so well, you need to go to the airport ICAO, so you're going to have to put in the airport ICAO in Windy, but I wouldn't recommend that. Remember, Windy is an external program. It might not be the same in your flight simulator world, and the whole idea is to simulate flight in this world of X-Plane, so you need to read it from X-Plane somewhere. Windy is a nice tool that gives you a very good indication, but it's not indicative of what's happening in your sim. Remember that. Okay, and there I've got the same problem as all of you guys. So you're moving the throttle, but there's no response. Alright. That was an early stop to a promising flight, so what we're quickly going to do is just kill X-Plane. Load back 1.15 and start again. Just want to see what my desktop background is. Alright. Quit X-Plane. Liam, yes, it's good for X-Plane as well, but you've got to take into account that you could be out of sync by about 30 minutes, up to about 30 minutes, because it takes the flight simulator world, sometimes it's very fast, but up to sometimes 30 minutes for the updates to happen. So let's quickly get my old version in here. Aircraft, Zibo. Sentinel, you need to go into the tablet and then you need to synchronize your captain and first officer's side. Otherwise, you're going to have to manually set both of your displays to show the same QNH. Why are we not copying? Hello. You know what? Let's just delete. Well, this is very interesting. I can't even delete this file now. It's like it's open somewhere and I'm now reading through Task Manager. Explain is closed. There's nothing. Oh, there we go. Now it's done. Someone was thinking a long time. Let's delete you and there we go. That should be the correct one I've put in place now. Sentinel, that's why we are here, buddy, to help you. You need to learn. Everybody needs to learn. And you know what I like is a hungry guy who wants to learn. So feel free, ask your questions. Anyway, guys, so yeah, that's the end of 1.17 for now. There'll probably be an update a little later for that one then. AJ, the only reason I can think of is a disagreement or some issue on your throttle. You need to make sure that your throttle noise lock is set up properly. Yes, John, I'm going back to 1.15. AJ, you need to have your throttle noise lock set up correctly. Your calibration needs to be done properly. If it's not done properly in Explain and on the tablet in your hardware setup, then you are going to have issues like that. The other thing that could also cause that, which I get a lot of flack from ignorant users is when I say that you need to start the Cessna 172 first. People think I'm crazy. But at least the professional guys, the real world guys, are in agreement with me. We've tested this, both privately, military guys have tested this for us. It's been proven over and over that the best way to load the Zibo is to start with the Charlie 172. So if you've got any issues, do that, like I'm going to do right now. Or you can move to a different gate as well. Yeah, that's true. Right, and then what we do is we just spend a few seconds on the outside somewhere, just look around, just waste some time, make sure that everything runs properly. I just wait until my hard drive stops turning on the hard drive light, and then we can swap over to the Zibo. Liam, the jar flies too smoothly. It's unrealistic. doesn't work that way in real world. Everybody always talks about the jar. Sorry, now I'm talking nonsense. I'm thinking about the jar. The jar is good. The jar is more realistic than some of the other ones. Let me not mention those names then. The jar is good. If you set it up properly, it's the most realistic that you will get at this point in time in terms of the flight model. I don't want to get into another fight about that, but there is so much wrong with some of the other stuff. And it's funny how the flight simmers have accepted the wrong and the funny stuff as being the correct stuff. So yeah, sorry, I almost got confused there. All right, we are back. Let's see. Fuel 5.7. Yeah, there's a lot to learn when you jump between the aircraft. When you start jumping around, even between the same models but different suppliers, there's so many things different. That's where studying comes in. You know, you need to study a little bit. Yeah, right. So let's get our settings in place and get the lights going and see how fast we can get in there. Practice makes perfect, Liam. Right guys, sorry for the delay. I'm gonna see how fast I can get this guy going now. So I'm gonna skip a couple of things. I'm not gonna worry about the external nice to haves and things. Let's just get going. Thanks, John. Have a good day and lots of fun there with your other flight club. Paul, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Listening to those Morse codes is something that I actually usually switch off because it gets too much. Once you've heard a Morse code beep once, you know them all, and because I don't really use them that often, it's not something that I really concentrate on. That is that one. And Where are those charts again? Yeah, now I suppose we are a bit fast for the alignment. We have 4 minutes left, so why don't we quickly do the rest of the stuff? Start our APU so long. AJ, no, I've never, only in the flight simulator. I've got family there, and I've got lots of family obviously traveling between South Africa and New Zealand continuously for family and business. So I hear the stories, I see the videos, but the rest for me, it's just in the flight sim. One day is one day, I'll make a plan to get there.
Captain Hatcher on the fasten seatbelt sign. We do ask that all passengers take your seat at this time and please fasten your seatbelt. Just as a reminder, we cannot leave the gate until carrying items are properly put away. All overhead bins are closed and all passengers are seated.
Right, 1200, and we can kick the APU into play, get some air to the passengers, make sure that we don't have a deal flow situation, don't want to blow this thing up. Right, volts and amps proper. How many minutes left now? 2 minutes. Alright, we're getting there slowly but surely.
Guys, the leader's on board.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, welcome aboard our flight today. We're wrapping up the final paperwork here to get you on your way momentarily. I want to thank you so much for your company. And
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I skipped 1.16 completely because of the rapid delivery that Zibo did there, you know, to just quickly fix everything. I'll go try 1.16 later, but on the other hand, there's going to be a new update soon, so might as well just wait for it. Right, so that's all done, that's all done, that's all done. Let's call our beta push back.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go. Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up. Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Flight attendants prepare for departure, cross-check and all call, thank you.
All right, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Board boarding door has been closed. Once again, we're doing all passengers to remain seated at this time. Please double check the security of your seatbelt. All electronic devices will need to be turned off and put away at this time, and then maintain all cellular phones to us users. Flight attendants, please open your doors for commercial and contact.
AJ, I forgot I was muted, so I want to ask you something. Can we talk about this when I'm in the air? Because there's about an hour to kill, or more than an hour maybe, in flight. So then I can give you the links and we can talk about a couple of things. Then let me just quickly get going because we're a bit late already. But guys, there you can see the nice curved lines now coming into play that everybody's talking about. So I'm really happy, and this aircraft really flies it very well. So just want to quickly finish setting up the FMC, do the pushback and the start, and get out of here, and then we can spend some nice quality time together chatting a bit. Nine. Right, reserves 1.1 and cost index will be 20. 9 at 7 on the winds there, 340 on the flight level, and 0 on the ISA. Alright, execute. Going to use a bit of power here. Alright, takeoff will be flaps 5. Right. .147 on the speed, 341 is correct, 34 is correct, and both flight directors are armed on this side, and I think that should be it. Trim's fine. Let's start this pushback.
And you may start engines.
Alright, backs off. Wrong side, boy, wrong side. Backs go off, and we can fire up. Oh, you're welcome. No, there's no problem with that, Paul. I just don't use it or play with it that often, so I'm gonna have to check for you. I really don't use it.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Right, I think we should be ready to go now.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Right, there's the pin, so let's get going. Check the controls again. We actually did it in the previous aircraft, so good idea to just check it. Everything seems to work fine, and we've got the response there, so let's get going. Russell, as a matter of interest, I'm using the default explain gateway version for NZQN for Queenstown, because for some reason my explain decided that it's going to complain about the trees that is apparently missing from the New Zealand scenery, the story one. I don't know how to explain it. There's one that they talk about the New Zealand story, and it's part of, you know, the whole list of sceneries that I wanted to use. This is one of the story ones, where we're departing from, and then I had the one in Queenstown, but for some reason it's complaining that there are trees missing, and I have googled and gone through so many different known and lesser known forums. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. I made a post on the org where you download the scenery on that page where the supplier put this little download, but I have not checked this morning whether he's actually responded yet, because that's highly annoying when you go and get close and all of a sudden you get this banner pop up in explain saying, you're missing some components. So I just took it off for the stream. I don't want to be bothered with that in the stream.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Approaching 3-4. On runway 3-4.
I'll I'll share my links with you later on, and then we can just compare notes and see if we're on the same page there, talking about the same stuff.
E1, rotate. Positive rate.
Gear up. Commando. Gear up and off, and we can switch off the brakes.
1000.
I'm actually also using ortho here, so I'm not sure if the Lindyman stuff is going to have any impact or proper impact on. Sorry, I bumped my throttle there, so it went out of synchronization. I'm not sure if it's going to have any impact on my simulator. At this point in time, using ortho, so I'll have to also look at that. Excellent. I've been very fond of flying in New Zealand forever and ever, since FS9 days. You know, it's something that has been near to my heart. I've enjoyed it. So I've had a lot of different packages, but in the last couple of months, I really didn't bother too much with New Zealand up until now that Queenstown has got the nice curves now, you know, and that's why I'm coming to fly here. But I'll have to brush up on the New Zealand scenery a bit. This sure is a very beautiful area of the world, eh? It's stunning. And the autos makes a huge difference, guys. You can see it's really bringing the place to life, eh? Sentinel, I don't think this sound set includes Escobar. This sound set is specifically one that I use because of Cloudy Box's voice that is on here. So I just stick with that one, and yeah, like I said, I don't think Escobar is part of this one at all. I placed a post on the Zibo community group a while ago that actually shows you like a little spreadsheet format of which of the sound sets include Escobar. And if it's really that big a problem, guys, you must just switch the sound set, you know, and use a different one. George, welcome. No, my friend, not in Autoland. Today is the curved lines turn, so we're going to have a bit of a zigzag through a valley here and show you guys how the curved lines look like and how the aircraft flies them. And then we're going to do, it's basically an RNAV approach and a manual landing with flaps 30 on runway 23 in Queenstown. So bit of excitement here at the end. And then for our good friend Paul, I'm going to look for a VOR or NDB or something just now and then start listening if we can find Morse code to actually display for us. What am I saying? Sorry, I mean that we can hear it, not display, sorry. George, we started with version 1.17 of the Zibo, and then I immediately noticed that we did not have any magenta line at all. And we said, stick it, we're gonna, pull through, go try and fly this thing even though we cannot see the route. And then I had the same failure as most other guys I've heard complaints of, where I would move my throttles but the engines wouldn't respond at all. So we quickly closed down Explain and we fired up version 1.15 again, which is what we are flying right now, just so that we can actually do the stream, because the other one needs a fix. Well, Sentinel, you probably left already, but for the record, I hope you enjoy it, my friend. I'm also quickly having a bit of a breakfast here while the aircraft's climbing, and then we'll get into all of the sceneries and stuff. My air hostess was actually good to me today. She brought me the nicest breakfast that you can imagine. Right, okay, so coming back to the sceneries, this is the first link. This is the scenery that I use or used just now for Wellington. Oh, sorry, George, missed your notice there. I have absolutely no idea because I don't use VR. You're gonna have to ask on the group, speak to one of the guys who actually use VR and get some feedback from them, eh? And this is the Queenstown that I wanted to use, but it's giving me issues with the trees. So like I've already explained, I'm just not using it for the stream because I don't want to deal with scenery issues, you know, while we're live. And if anybody can figure out why I'm getting a problem with trees, it will be nice to get some help from the community. You know, in a reverse mode. So anyway, that's the two sceneries that I've got, and then I obviously made orthos. Everything that we are flying over or across is orthos. This is a zoom level 17 ortho from the Ortho for XP series that I just made. So that's what you guys see over there. OJ, it really is good. I must actually go and follow up on this Queenstown, see if the author has actually responded to my request for information there. Because I would love to have the scenery back. He submitted new files yesterday. I see if I look at his account. So he's very much still active, but he's not talking to us. So I don't know what I'm going to have to do about those trees, but it doesn't look promising right now. We'll see. If you guys are interested, this is the actual author's page, and will obviously find a list of all his scenery that he's done. Seems like he's quite a specialist on New Zealand, so there's a couple of things that I see that I still want to go and download for myself as well now. Very interesting. George, Zibo changed the way that we update from version 3.34 and onwards until further notice. So the short answer is because he changed his way of doing things, no you don't. You don't have to load each and every single fix. There's nothing wrong with it. You know the old saying of rather safe than sorry. You can do that, but the latest fix is an all-inclusive fix. So if you load 1.16, 1.17, whatever, it contains everything that was fixed up until now. So you don't need to go through the pain that we used to go through in the old days. almost forgot. Let's see if we can find a VOR or something close by. There should be something here. What's this place? Christchurch. Oh, there should be something. There's a VOR. 11530. Well, there's your Morse code for well, Yorkie, you know, God bless you for that. You're obviously very lucky, and you're on a Mac. I'm on a PC, so maybe that should be the clue. You know, maybe for this instance, Zibo actually, you know, gave you guys a better deal than us. I don't know, and I'm saying this with all the love and respect in the world. You know, kind of a joke, stupid joke, I suppose. But anyway, I don't know. I can't speak on his behalf. But he'll have to fix the PC model then if the Mac model works. So that has to happen. Sorry, Paul, I missed that one. I'm looking at the Ashburton one in front of me. It's just past Christchurch. I don't see a ADF specific little button apart from the marker that we can really switch on. So it will be kind of interesting to hear if we can hear it. The VOR we know we can hear. Let's just set this RMI as well. See if we can actually pick it up. We'll see when the RMI goes alive if we can hear it. Okay, that'll be our test then. Because that is on 254 Alpha Sierra. We'll see if we can hear that. Of descent in 136 miles, so we have to keep an eye on that as well.
November, Zulu, Quebec, November, airport information, Zulu, 0913, Zulu, weather, wind, 034, at 8, visibility, 10,000, sky condition, ceiling, 1,800, broken, light rain, temperature, 162.10, QNH, 1024. Advise on initial contact, you have information, Zulu.
November, Zulu, Quebec, November, airport information, Alpha 0913, Zulu, weather, wind 034, at 8, visibility 10,000, sky condition, ceiling 1,800, broken, light rain, temperature 162.10, QNH 1024, advise on initial contact, you have information, Alpha. November.
Good morning, Angel. Good to have you on stream with us. And welcome back, Sentinel. Well, there's the RMI getting live now, so the ADF should... Well, the ADF is working. Let's see. All I see is inoperative stuff, but let's start clicking. Well, it looks like I'm gonna have to get back to you on that question. Oh, that is a sin, Angel. That is absolutely not acceptable. Wow, that's a long time. But listen, we are having issues with 1.7, so stick to 1.5, and I think somebody here mentioned 1.6 is also working, but 1.7 just skip for now, please. Yeah. You know what? A lot of people have said this on the group. If you have a model that works, stick to it. The RC is a release candidate anyway, so it's a beta of a beta. It's a work in progress. You need a special kind of attitude and you know, stomach to handle bugs and things that might go wrong. Now, I can vouch that there's not much wrong with these things. You know, there's other issues that contribute to people thinking there's something wrong, but the one that is definitely not working right now is 1.17. it's it'll be fixed later, I'm pretty sure. Always, yeah, I hate real life interfering with my virtual life. I can't stand it sometimes. Man, it frustrates me. I'm not going to bother with all the other fancy stuff today. It's not a training flight, so we're just going to skip it. 80 miles to go. Russell, thank you so much for joining us, buddy. I completely understand. I'm sitting in the middle of the earth, you know, between the time zones, speaking that way, so I feel your pain. Have a good night, have a good rest, and enjoy the video tomorrow. Yorkie, you're fine. You're fine. No issues. I actually don't speak to Zibo himself. I speak to the other team members. I have not had actually the pleasure to speak with the boss. Hopefully one day soon. But I do have close contact and speak a lot with some of the other developers that's part of the team. And for those of you that don't realize that this isn't just a one-man show, there's actually quite a team behind this aircraft. So, yeah. We exchange notes when we have to. Okay, well, Angel, I'm jealous. I wish I was in the real air now, in a real aircraft somewhere, so enjoy it. Don't worry, my friend. You will get your time with the Zibo again. And the poor passengers are probably annoyed already. Let's just quickly release them. Shame. We are in level flight also, so.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again from the flight deck, we'll level off now at our cruising altitude. We're going to go ahead and turn off the fasten seatbelt sign. I'd like to kindly ask if you are staying in your seats to keep those seatbelts comfortably fastened for your safety. Onboard computer showing an on-time arrival, no ATC delays either. We're going to stay quiet up here, have you enjoy the flight and the service. Once again, welcome aboard.
Kevin, the only thing that you can really do wrong is you're setting this little device up incorrectly. So let's quickly zoom in there. If you can have a peek here. What we need to have is our recirculation fans need to be on auto. Packs and isolation valves, those three must be on auto. Your engine bleeds must be on, like that one. APU bleed must be off. You need to have the correct flight altitude set up. It has to be correct. If this is wrong, you're going to get issues. Your valve needs to be in this position. Alright. Then your landing altitude needs to be set up according to your airfield where you're going to land. This is the airport elevation, and you need to be on auto. If you have done all that and you are on the right flight level with your MCP over there, well, I've changed it now because we're going to descend soon, but you can't go higher on your MCP than what you have set up on your overhead. That the moment these two disagree, that one and the MCP, and you're higher than you're supposed to be, that's when you're going to get the cabin altitude warning. Man, that's a shame. Okay, well, I don't have any screenshots to work off, so I won't be able to guess what's wrong. In your FMC, did you put the correct flight level in your FMC when you set it up? That's another place I forgot to mention. Did you set up your flight level over here? Is that correct? Mine is set to 340. Given it happens, it happens. That's why we start with the 172 first, then switch to the Zibo, so that we know that all the scripts are running properly. It could be that, it could be a failure. Are you sure that your explain failures are off? If you go, let me show you here quickly, if you go to your flight, in your flight configuration, when you choose your aircraft, you see there's failures at the bottom here. Make sure that they are off. You need to fix all your systems and make sure that tick is not in place, because otherwise you might actually be facing an explain failure and not a Zibo failure. So you need to check that. Okay, Angel, enjoy your flight, buddy. Talk to you later. Good morning, Chris. Sorry, it took me a moment to realize there was another message there. Happy Saturday to you too. Thank you for joining us on the stream. We're about to have some curve fun. If you see there on the tablet, we're waiting for that approach to happen. Good morning, Benny. That is in fact called Benny Overlay. It's made by a good guy called Benny. That's just something, the overlay that we put in the broadcasting software. It's not part of X-Plane. You can't see it in the cockpit. It's solely and wholly only for the broadcasting software. That's just our way, obviously, of keeping you guys informed where we're at, you know, because we don't necessarily look around the FMC the whole time, you know, and the rest of the instruments. So there's the top of descent. And the waters are looking good, man. I'm impressed. AJ, are you still with us?
Folks from the flight deck, we've started our descent. Should have you on the ground in about 15 minutes. Want to thank you so much for your company and business, and hope to see you again with us sometime very soon.
Great stuff. Good morning, Ferry. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so from top down, Ferry, this is a very good example of a very nice arrival where we can see the curves, and I purposefully picked it, and I purposefully made the Auto XP tiles here so that we can actually see what it looks like for real. I mean, this is just gorgeous. It's fantastic, and it's going to be a good zigzag going into that airport. And Ruan, in terms of what it is, that is called Benny Overlay, B-N-E Overlay, B-E-N-E Overlay, and it's part of the stuff that I use for the broadcasting. It's not in X-Plane, you can't see it in the cockpit. It's just to show the viewers of your stream where you're at, what's happening. Sorry if I repeat some of the stuff that I say, but because the kids are making a noise and the dogs are barking, I sometimes go off, you know, to use a push to talk, and then I forget that I need to push it. Yeah, excellent, very good, good. But you must come try it now with the curved lines. You'll check, it's nice, eh? Start seeing some of those curves as we get closer. I'll zoom in more. This is version 1.15. It works okay. There's only one thing that does not work, and that is if you go and click here on the data button there on the IFAS, that doesn't work. But other than that, there's nothing much wrong with this model. I tried 1.17 to start the stream with 1.17 and miserably failed, so we had to close X-Plane, put the backup back in place, and then try again, you know. George, yeah, I must look at setting up a video like that. It's not difficult, hey? It's really not difficult. Yeah, I must just do it. I must really just do it. Especially with the latest Ortho build, 1.30, I think. It's so easy. It's click, 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 and it just runs. The big problem that I have trying to pull it here from South Africa seems to be that either the service provider providing the tiles or somebody somewhere in line keeps on blocking me. So I've had to make use of a VPN to jump between suppliers just to mask my IP address, because my IP address keeps on getting blocked, which is highly annoying. I did not register for across the pond. Nope. Ooh, look how close we get to these mountains. Look here. This is cool. And as you guys can see, we're on that turn now. Look at those curves. Paul, I have got plenty of Orbeck scenery. Why do you ask the question that way? What would you like to know? I just don't use the base packages in Explain because I use Ortho, and I've got some others. So one thing I've learned with this approach is when it takes the dip in between the steps that it climbs down, it tends to dive a little bit. So what I do is I just use a little bit of the speed brake there for a short while. Yeah, very, it looks cool. It really looks cool. And if you keep your eye there on the chart, you'll see this is like perfect, man. Absolutely perfect. Yeah, you can say that again. I did not expect rain. You know, I was here yesterday and the day before, and it was like open. There was no clouds, no rain, nothing. Paul, the best would be for you to go to the Orbex forum and ask help, eh? I've never had a situation like that. I mean, like I say, I only have some airports, so they download fairly easy. Right, there we go. So just around the next corner, we're going to see the airport.
2500.
It looks amazing. Pretty nice. Right, the only thing we need now is the landing gear and the config. So let's drop the gear and go flaps 15. I've heard that. I've heard that. There's our runway over there by the mouse.
Hold up. Hold up.
Don't worry, Uncle. Don't worry. We're okay. So we're going to do flaps 30 manual landing. That is the plan. Oh, look at this. This is so nice. This is really nice. There's our airport. We're going to have to take over pretty soon, but I'm still looking around. This is really, really nice. This must be an awesome sight to see in the real world. Wow. Flying in this valley. Very nice.
Feet stabilized, Mr. Birch altitude set.
Approaching 23.
That's a good plan. That's also a good plan.
5.
is not nice coming from the tail, I tell you. Look, it wants to drop my right wing the whole time.
100 minimums. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
4,000 feet remaining. 3,000 remaining. 2,000 remaining.
Brake, 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 brake. This is a short runway. Wow. Not much room to turn around. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, I'm not the only one stressing, it seems, so interesting times.
On runway 05.
Come on, come on, come on. Thank you, gentlemen. I reckon I can do better, but I need more practice on this runway. You guys, I want to share something with you. I'm not sure if you guys have ever thought about this, okay? I just quickly glanced over. I see we've got 15 viewers. It's funny, I'll fly in here with nobody watching me and I'll land at 150 foot per minute. It's easy. But the stress of having guys watch you, that's actually kind of fun. I think I'm going to get used to it, but it's like, you know, just a bit of extra pressure. Thank you, Yoki. Thank you, everyone. You know what? We've talked and I haven't concentrated. I haven't even switched on any of the lights and did what I had to do. My goodness, I'm a bad pilot today. Fortunately, what happens in the cockpit stays in the cockpit. We're just gonna keep quiet. We didn't see anything. That's interesting, you know, you don't think about it, but if you start to think about it, then you realize, you know, the guys are watching. You better do this okay. They're going to tell each other, did you see how bad that oak landed? Well, at least that's the fear, yeah, that I have, so it's funny. Right, so before we do much, thank you, Benny. Before we do much, let's actually go to a replay. George, yeah, now ammunition. I hope you guys don't mind, but I'm going to do a couple of replays here. If you've got any special requests or any angles that you want to see, please tell me. We'll have a look together. Ferry, I purposefully chose this side for the valley. I have not done an approach from the other side. I'll have to do that one still, but I purposefully chose this one this morning. The funny thing is the wind was actually against me. I mean, I had to tell it, look how the wind tries to drop my right wing the whole time. You know, I had to constantly battle that one, keep it on track, keep the wings semi-level, you know, and then fly it in. Because I think at that point there, I noticed like a 10 knot wind here from about 5 o'clock. No, thank you, Sentinel. I only used auto brake 1, that is true. But it would have been better on number 2. Ah, it actually looked like I bounced a little bit there. I didn't realize. love these views and I love the area here. Bye. Oh, look at that view. Oh, that was my daughter coming to say goodbye. They're gonna go shopping or something now, so we are. Thank you, Sentinel. It always helps. Pleasure, Yorkie. It was nice having you guys here on stream with me today. Well guys, that's about it from me. There were 3 gentlemen on the Zibo group in the week that indicated that they would like some training. I'm still considering and trying to see what's happening on the family side for the weekend. But if there is going to be any training, it will probably be late afternoon, early evening kind of a thing. So just keep an eye out if there is another stream and if you guys would be interested in a little bit of training. It seems that there are a lot of guys who love to fly the Zibo, but their basic knowledge of flying just isn't there. So I just want to cater to a couple of people, you know, that need basic knowledge, you know, to understand what the barometer does, why it's necessary to have it in the right setting at the right time and things like that. So feel free. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, we'll do it when they can all join. Obviously it's dependent on them rather than me, and then obviously my family. So but that's it from me for now, and again thank you for joining me. It was nice having you. Always a pleasure, guys. Always. I love doing this for you. Thanks, Paul.